Hi, and welcome to the South Dakota Healthy Nutrition Collaborative's informational webinar series. Today we have Team Buche Cares with us, and they're going to go over their programming to address food and nutrition security in South Dakota. But before we get started with that, I just want to give a basic intro of what the South Dakota Healthy Nutrition Collaborative is. So the purpose of the collaborative is to bring a collective voice to support access to nutritious food, which builds a strong foundation for healthy South Dakota families and communities to prosper. The goals of our collaborative are to improve coordination, identify areas for statewide research and evaluation, and promote programmatic best practices. And that's where this informational webinar lives in this goal group. The other goal groups are to elevate the voices of food and nutrition advocates, researchers, and individuals experiencing food and nutrition security. And the third goal group is to advance policy implementation to improve food and nutrition security in South Dakota. So with that, I will hand it over to our esteemed speaker today, Mr. R.F. Buche. So please go ahead when you're ready.
Well, as esteemed is that's a very overstated, but thank you very much. Um, so uh, we have been uh, we've had a nonprofit since 2014, which is Team Buche Cares, and I also own and operate GF Buche Company that's got grocery stores, convenience stores, etc. We've been operating in Indian country since about 1905. And one of the things that has always been important to me is making sure that everybody's fed. And that started from when I was just a young kid that at the age of 7, watched my dad pay for a mom's groceries that she couldn't afford them. And so um, I watched that happen, and afterwards I asked him, Dad, why did you do that? And he just said, RF, when you're in this business, it's your moral obligation to make sure no one goes hungry. And I've just never forgotten that. So that's the premise of what Team Buoy Cares is and does. We focus in 3 areas. We focus in hunger, we focus in help, and we focus in education. So one of the things that we do is it's our season of giving. We help feed the hungry with matching contributions to local food pantries. We do that when people seem to be the most generous, and we do that within our retail grocery stores and convenience stores and hardwares, and then as well as um, team members and myself reaching out to try and get people to help with that. So we match contributions to those local food pantries. We also give financial support for cancer patients. So we do that in various ways. It used to be we would sell water, and my team would give me challenges like dressing up in a pink flamingo suit or whatever the case may be to do some of those things to try and raise more money. But when one of the challenges was riding a bike 112 miles across our stores, and I couldn't walk for a couple days afterwards, I thought, well, there has to be a better way. So we've been raising uh, cancer money in a different way that we've been doing Chase the Ace, along with some other things, but one of our big focuses is cancer patients. Our Underdog Foundation is our scholarship program. We I kind of got tired of seeing, the kids with the highest GPAs and the best athletes and the most popular kids getting those scholarships. And so we decided that, hey, what about the people that the kids that need that second chance or have overcome insurmountable odds? And so we developed the Underdog Foundation, which is really when Team Buoy Cares really started. To date, we've given away about $500,000 in Underdog Foundation scholarships, promoting healthy food initiatives and incentives. And so we we are, I would say, um, nationally, we seem to be a little bit of the go-to on rural grocers. And I think it's a lot of it is because of my involvement in South Dakota retailers or the National Grocers Association. But we, we have one of the first independents to have Snap online, and Wick online in a couple of our stores. And so we're constantly out there trying to do things that will help our customers, eating healthy, etc. We've done the ad milk. We have done double up food bucks in the past. So a lot of initiatives that we try and concentrate on in our grocery stores, and then of course, if it makes sense, through Team Bowie Cares. Another slide, Carrie. Um, this summer, I had the privilege to participate in the summer food program with the Oglala Sioux Tribe. We were their vendor, and one of the most absolutely rewarding experiences that I've ever had in my life. To know that you're feeding kids that wouldn't otherwise have been fed. Um, at the end, we were doing 6,700 meals per 6,700 kids per day, a breakfast and a lunch. Um, and we delivered that right into 9 different districts on the Oglala Sioux Tribe, um, and all the logistical um, logistical things that we had to do to get that done. It was like I said, it was probably about as hard as I've ever worked in my life, but I enjoyed it just to know that those kids were getting fed. But it was a tough go. We only had about well, I had about 2 business hours notice, to be honest, and we put that together and did it for, oh, I can't remember, 13 weeks or so through the summer. Um, One of the things that Team Bowie Cares does is we do some fundraising. And our last, we've had a couple big fundraisers that have been hunts, and one coming up is called the Rooster Roundup, and we did that a year ago. It was our first one, and through through doing that, the funds that we raised, it was a hunt. We raised enough to feed 100,000 people, delivering to 121 different communities throughout South Dakota, including all 9 reservations. Um, we are uh, we are located on or near 8 of the reservations, um, and we pride ourselves in trying to help an Indian country in any way we possibly can. Um, So with our stores being the proximity of those reservations, it obviously makes being able to accomplish something like that. And we did this. This was done in um, 4 days, I believe. Let's see. Um, so we are we helped the Oglala Sioux Tribe last year, and we plan to become a site sponsor this year. Um, However, South Dakota put a rule in that you have to be a congregate site for a year before you can be a non-congregate site, and so we're not positive exactly where we're going to do that for sure, but we're trying to expand the grab and go feeding in rural and tribal communities throughout South Dakota. That's we would love to be able to do that through private sources. Um, for funding, because I believe that not having the restrictions, we'll be able to do it um, cheaper and better, to be honest. So we are trying to expand those things. We're looking at shelf stable meal kits that we can do that make that job easier. Um, we plan to continue with holiday meal programs. I mean, it would be ideal to me that um, we were doing something similar to what we did Christmas last year, that we're doing something for Christmas and Thanksgiving and Easter. It would be ideal that we did that every time. We're going to continue to support families in need. Right now, through our website, anyone can go on and request assistance. Those emails come directly to me, and then we just figure out how we can help them, best way to serve them. And it might be anything from food to wood to propane to whatever they need. Um, and just recently, this took quite a while, but we also put in food lockers down in Marty, South Dakota. Um, I'll be curious to see how this initiative works. Right now, as anyone that not just in Indian country, but rural South Dakota, sometimes travel is um, it's an issue. So what we've done is put food lockers in a community center in Marty, and customers are able to go with their smartphone, order groceries online, pay for by uh, credit, debit, SNAP, WIC, and we would deliver those items down to the food locker. And so they don't have to pay $20+ for a ride to the nearest grocery store. Um, and then, of course, we are we are trying to continue to support local food pantries because we all know that those are needed in a lot of our communities. So we continue to do that. So as you probably could tell, I didn't create those slides. Carrie was nice enough to do those for me, so I'm doing this a little bit on the fly. But uh, those are some of the things in a nutshell that we are trying to do at Team Bowie Cares. I mean, like I said, we emphasize in a lot of areas, but probably the number one passion I have is making sure that those that are less fortunate are getting fed.
Thank you so much for that. It was more than informational webinar. It was pretty inspirational. So
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.